Whom do you fear? Who is it that you are afraid of? Most likely all of us have somebody we find ourselves a little more intimidated in front of. Someone at work, at home, in our families, who kind of makes us afraid to be ourselves or say what we think. Most often the one we fear is someone who has great power over us. The ones we fear are the ones who have the power to hurt us with some physical force, maybe even, but also verbal force. They have the power over us, perhaps of some information about us, perhaps, that we at one time entrusted to them. Or they sign the checks. Or they're the ones that are so quick to anger. We feel like we're walking on eggshells around them all the time. Or they're the ones that keep threatening to leave us, and they just might. And we don't think we will be okay somehow, for some reason, without them. That's great power, and it's power over us, and it's the kind of power that makes us afraid of them. The one we fear most could be our spouse at home, our boss at work, our teacher at school. It could be a friend even, really, an old friend. It could be the rich we fear, or the poor, or the current president or a previous president. It could be someone who needs us too much. And it almost seems like they could devour us, devour our time, and so we find ourselves afraid of that need in them. It could be those people we find just so judgmental that they might be judging us as quickly as we know they judge everybody else. Who is it you find yourself most afraid of in this world? When I'm afraid of someone, I give them my power. I give over to them my power. And then they have too much power over me. And so around them, I'm not Gary. I cower, I hide, I run. And it is a living hell to be with someone who I'm afraid of. This is the reason Jesus says in this gospel you just heard proclaimed, the very reason he says, fear no one. Fear no one. Fear no human being. Fear no one, because he says no one in this world should ever have power over you. And if you don't get out from under that fear, you will never be the man or the woman that would be a full and flourishing human being. As long as there's one in this world that you're afraid of, you'll never really truly be yourself in this world. Fear no one, Jesus says, because not one of them can hurt you or destroy you. Good news indeed that should set us free from our fear if we're paying attention to it and we trust it. Our fear that we could be ourselves always and everywhere, in front of anyone, no matter their title, no matter the power they have over us on paper at least, or because they sign those checks. The good news is that we should be and can be free to be ourselves, always and everywhere. But, and this is a huge but, he says, but there's more to that challenge. There's more to that. Jesus isn't finished when he says, fear no one. He's not done with us yet. Listen to where he goes from there. Fear no one, and do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both your body and your soul. Fear the one who really can destroy your soul. So there is somebody we should fear then? We should fear, he is saying, the only one who can kill both body and soul and leave us in that living hell. Fear that one. Fear no one, he says, except that one. And so who is she then? Who is he, this one I should fear? There's only one, my friends. There's only one. There's only one who can destroy your soul. You. You are the only one that can destroy your soul. Evil people can't destroy you, nor can troubling people, nor can people of wealth and power and all those fancy titles. But you can destroy you. And you alone have the power to destroy your soul. No one has the power to do that but the one we should fear, and that is you. You have the freedom to make or break your life. Who should you fear? No one, really. No one else. But you should be afraid of you. Be afraid of your freedom to destroy your own soul, or not. That attitude you carry, that you refuse to challenge in yourself, that negative attitude, that whiny, complaining attitude, that attitude of resentment and unforgiveness, that attitude you carry can destroy your soul. You have the power over that attitude, nobody but you. Viktor Frankl says in his book, A Man's Search for Meaning, that I read way back in college, that you can be in a concentration camp, you can be tortured, you could be starved, but you still got your attitude. You have the power over your attitude. Nobody else does. Not Nazi Germany, not Hitler himself. No one can destroy your attitude. And if you got a bad attitude, if your attitude is toxic, it will destroy your soul. If you can change your attitude and nobody else can, do you know how much power you have? You have. Nobody else. The drugs, the food we put into our bodies, nobody has power over that except us. We decide if we want to do that to our bodies, and that can destroy body and soul. Those fears we refuse to deal with, the fears that keep us from life, all those fears, we all have way too many of those. We never let ourselves work through them. That's our choice. Our choice to refuse to deal with our anxieties and our fears. Our choice to refuse to deal with how quick to anger we are. And how we put our anger into words and deeds that are just putrid. Toxic, once again. Those addictions. We have the freedom to deal with our addictions that are taking us down and taking our loves and our relationships down. We have the power to fix those things. You have the power to not deal with those addictions, and they can destroy you. That's the truth. That untamed ego, your selfishness, my selfishness, That depression that lurks in the background all the time, that you refuse to look at, that you refuse to talk to anybody about, that you refuse to take medication for. You are the one saying no to all that. You can destroy yourself. Nobody else. We need to be afraid of our freedom to destroy our soul or not. This freedom is a good thing. It's so essential, and it's very powerful. You can use your own freedom to destroy yourself. No one else. Only you. Yes, my friends. The only one. No one else, he says. The only one to be afraid of in this world is you.